And good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. So, yeah, I've been kind of lollygagging around for the last couple of days. Well, I'd say like the last week. So, we're going to get back to what I love to talk about and just basically in general, just what all this is all about. So, from this point, I'm going to be covering each day as we make our way one day at a time to the event regarding the Pixel 5 and Pixel 4a 5G launch. Um, so yeah, this is an exciting time for me. Most of you guys that already follow me pretty much know that I am a huge fan of the Pixels. Um, I really into the market with basically, you know, having their own hardware. Even though people like to nitpick, like, and I mean really nitpick, um, Google and their hardware. At the end of the day, for me, it's I'm glad that they have something here in place. Sure, could it be better? Of course, there's always room for improvement. If you feel like there's no room for improvement, then yeah, that's you pretty much are stuck at that glass ceiling and will never break through. Um, so yeah, Google Pixels have had their ups and downs. They've had their shortcomings, those types of things. And it's I mean, it is what it is. However, the excitement for the Pixel 5 finally, and I think the excitement for me really just kind of stems from like where this is going. You know what I mean? Because Google's not in any attempt um trying to make another premium this year. This year, it's not about building a premium device. This year is initially about them trying to find their own way. And I'm hoping that that's exactly what they're doing because I could be wrong. I'm not perfect. The things that, I may think about that maybe Google's doing, like their projected path, could absolutely be wrong and just blow up in my face. So I'll openly admit that. So just like you, I am along for the ride, waiting for this to see exactly what's going to happen here with the Google Pixels. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the Google Pixel 5, the Pixel 4a 5G. We know quite a bit as far as spec wise with these devices, what they're going to be. However, just just to cover the 8 days, this is going to be something that I feel initially I want to cover for the next week until launch date, which is 8 days away. So it'll be launching next week Wednesday, which is the 30th of September. Now, we don't know if that's going to be open up for pre-orders on that day or they're going to be absolutely available in the Google Store. More than likely, when it comes to these types of events, it's going to be where it it's going to be unveiled, and then they're going to showcase what the phone can do. They're going to tell us why they went a different route instead of going with the Snapdragon 865. They went with the 765G. Obviously, they're going to talk a little bit about 5G, and we're going to hear their perception about 5G. And here's my premiere a reaction. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry, man. I have to get this done because I have so much things going on today. I am going to watch the replay of it, so I do know that you did the Doctor Who thing. So nobody spoil it for me. Anyone that comes inside here later on, don't spoil what Technoid did because I'm going to watch his video after I'm done doing the podcast here because I'm not going to be on long. I'm going to be on for about an hour. That's about it. A lot of things going on. So most of my podcasts are going to be about an hour now. I'm not really going to be like over lengthening it to like 2-3 hours. Really, I'll probably save those for the weekend when there's more time to do it. Technoid, sorry that I didn't make the premiere, but I am going to watch the replay. So I'm just asking anybody that comes in, please don't spoil it. Please don't. I don't want it to be spoiled. Yeah, so this will actually get to people a little bit later, as I do know that YouTube is on some next level stuff. It seems that the shorter the live streams are, the longer it takes for it to process. I'm not entirely sure why. Whereas, a 3-4 hour live stream can process within under 30 minutes or possibly processed and already done. So it really depends. But okay, so we're just gonna kick this off and get through these articles today, and then after that, I'll have it open for a little bit towards the end. So, you know, then in that case, right, when it's open to the end, we can have like an open discussion. So, yeah. Anyhow, let's kind of just go into it. As you're coming in, please don't forget to smash the like button. Really lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content that I am actually talking about in these podcasts, and also, it helps circulate it. So that would be much appreciated. All right, so let's go into the first thing. I want to talk about this Google Nest Home speaker. This is something that it has an entirely new look, and I haven't been, listening to other people's thoughts and reviews about it, just because I wanted to look at it for myself. And I see a lot of people covering about it and absolutely talking about it. So um, let me just full screen this, and yeah, let's just kind of go through it. So new Google Nest home speaker release date, rumor, specs. Right, all this was done on September 16th. It was written um, by pocket-lint.com. Never heard of this site before. So let's see what they have to say about it. Okay, so well, first of all, I want to look at the image here, and actually, that image right there doesn't even look half bad at all. I don't know. I've seen on Twitter some people were kind of making fun of it. Yeah, it doesn't look half bad at all. I mean, the original Google Home looked like an air freshener. So with this one, I don't know. It looks like a speaker. Like it actually this time looks like what a speaker would look like. To me, if you were to have like home decor, the speaker itself just looks like a speaker. Doesn't look like anything else. It wouldn't masquerade itself as anything else. So that's much I gotta say. And you can see that has an indicator lights in the middle for increasing the volume, decreasing the volume. Obviously, one of the things about it is how stealth it is, because I don't see where you would tap to either increase the volume or decrease the volume, or if it's like a swipe gesture to increase it higher or lower. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm assuming that it might be on the top, that you could tap the maybe like the top left side to lower the volume, top right side to increase the volume. On the corners, I'm thinking so, like right around here. I'm thinking that this is where. Let me just kind of zoom in. So yeah, right around here, I think you tap here to lower the volume, and you tap on this side to increase the volume. But that's just me. I'm not entirely sure. So we shall see here. But let me just kind of take a look at this real quick, just for a second. Okay, give me 1 second, everybody. Let me help my daughter real quick. I'll be right back. But if you guys want, you guys can like just read that first paragraph on this thing real quick. Okay, my apologies for stepping away here in a little bit. Dad duty calls. My oldest daughter has her classroom meeting on Zoom, and she can't find her laptop, so she's using her mom's Chromebook, and she doesn't know how to navigate back to Zoom on that. So I had to show her that. But anyways, okay. So the Nest home speaker, like I said, talked a little bit about the way that it looks. So there's like the design and build here, officially confirmed by Google. It's a 215 by 150 by 6 millimeters approximately. Has two colors, and I don't know what those two colors are. I think they should have had like more than just two colors. I mean, personally, I just think they should have more than two colors. But I understand in this time of 2020, production on electronic devices is very limited. So that's where we lose out. I would claim it's a mid-sized speaker that is very much matches the design of the Nest Mini and the Nest Hub devices. So not very huge. But my concern is what type of speakers does it have inside of it? What type of drivers does it have? We can't be sure on the depth, but we guess it's like 60 millimeters. Yeah, that you're talking about the size there. Um, Pricing about $117, but that's just because they're going by like what the pricing is, 89 euros. So they're converting that to US dollars, but that's not actually what it's going to be uh, to US. It could in fact be $99. Could in fact be $129. We don't know, but that's just the pricing on it. Let's see. There's not too much that they really talk about in this article. I don't really see anything else. So, let's see what else we find. Is I want to know what kind of what kind of drivers it has, like what type of speakers it has. Because as you can see, you guys can see the original Home, Google Home looks like an air freshener. So it's just one of those weird things. Let's see. What do we have here? Who should I go with? Hmm. Let us see. Okay, let's just go here. We'll go with The Verge. Let's see what The Verge has to say on it. Another photo, same photo of it. Doesn't really say much. I don't think anyone really knows what type of speaker it has. So maybe possibly there's no leaked info on what type of speakers it has. Because to me, that's what the Nest Home home smart speaker is really going to be judged on, is the audio, because that's initially what it's used for. Besides it giving you like your day-to-day stuff, like being your basically a home personal assistant where you can ask it things that has to do with your calendar, things that has to do with appointments, playing music, listening to your favorite audio podcasts, those types of things. um One of the major things is the sound, that it provides. And I'd like to know what kind of speaker it has. That's just me. Maybe that's just me all by myself. I'm not entirely sure. They keep talking about the design and the size in just about every article that I'm pointing to. So this looks like this is the backside of it. So like that's kind of interesting. Okay, so we got a photo of it on the backside. Looks like that there is a probably a microphone toggle switch, like to turn on the microphone, turn off the microphone, and then you have the charging port, which is proprietary. So interesting. That would have been okay if it had like Type C. That would have been cool, but they decided to go proprietary. So I don't know. Who knows? Um, yeah, just all they really have is just much of the design. I don't think any website really has initially um what like speakers is actually inside of this. So let's see what we have here. We are but visitors on this. Tethered to a burning sphere by an invisible force in an unfathomed universe. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, good to have an original thought. I would definitely say that. Uh, but the home speaker itself. So again, one of the most important things I want to know is the speaker itself. What type of drivers? Because see, not all Google Homes are the same, right? So I have my Nest Mini right here, and it is slightly dirty. But yeah, I have my Google Home Nest Mini that sits in my office, and then I have a Google Home that sits in my room, and it's the original Google Home. Like so, when you actually take the bottom cuff off, you'll see three speakers, and those speakers are actually pretty good in the range, the bass, the clarity, all those things. So that's why I mean, you could get like any of the newer ones, but I really like the original Google Home that I have. And since it does a pretty good job with audio, especially playing music and things like that, like my music is it's loud enough for me to hear. It gets pretty loud when you put up at full volume max, but it's also got that nice punchy bass that people kind of look for, that deep sound quality from the speaker itself. Those are the types of things that a lot of people I feel like they look for when it comes to audio quality and things like that. So I'm definitely intrigued by this. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to invest in it at this time. Maybe if there's like a really good sale, like a really good deal, like maybe get a Nest a 2020 Nest home speaker for like $50. Maybe then I might invest into that and just kind of upgrade, kind of see which one's better. Who knows? We'll see what happens then. But in the meantime, I am, at this point, literally just like I want to know what kind of speakers it has inside of it. What's driving it is really what I want to know. Um, because without knowing that, if it has something that's like in the Nest Mini, the Nest Mini, don't get me wrong, the audio out of this is okay. It's loud, right? But if you're looking for that really depth and feel of your audio quality, it's not going to provide that. If I was to put this up against my Google Home, in my opinion, is better sounding. So, I mean, that's that's some of the things that I definitely will say here regarding that. But of course, obviously, we're going to see that launch on the 30th next week. So we'll get more info by then. I guess I have to wait till then to know exactly what kind of speaker that we're going to have with this. And therefore, who knows? Who knows? That's the only thing I would say is who knows. Okay, so let's go to the next one here that I want to kind of take a stab at, and that is the next Chromecast, or sort of. I mean, Chromecast 4, aka Sabrina. So we have this. This is courtesy of Tom'sGuide.com, and you see, looks like it's gonna be like 3 colors. So I mean, hey, that's not too bad itself. So let's make this full screen and really just kind of dive right into it. All right. So Google's Chromecast 4 coming soon, definitely. It has a new name, Chromecast with Google TV. So, okay, kind of interesting there. Okay, so and this is supposed to like be with the new Android TV platform. So with this thing, I should be able to play Stadia. Because that's the thing about my Nexus player, which I'll probably talk about tomorrow on tomorrow's podcast. Really, when I just kind of dive in a little bit more with this Google Cast with Google TV, is because see what is the Google Chromecast? It's the best Google Stadia games to play now. That's all these little side things, but the Chromecast Ultra is one of the best streaming devices if you want to watch 4K HDR content. Google Chromecast 4 Sabrina is rumored to add an HDMI 2.1, Dolby Vision support, and low latency gaming that could work with Stadia. So it does work with Stadia. But it's sad that my Nexus player cannot do that. I really wish that Stadia was that good that it could run on older hardware such as my Nexus player, because I still utilize my Nexus player. I like using it. So, but I mean, again, we'll talk about that tomorrow. So let's see. Yeah, it's just a little dongle that plugs back into your smart TV, or if your TV has an HDMI source, like an HDMI port, and it plugs into that. Obviously. So its inclusion will run Android 11 preview, may indicate that the Chromecast device will release with the operating system, possibly in September. Yeah, this is a guess. It's actually coming out this on the 30th, and I don't know exactly what date this will be available. Hopefully. But let's see, 9 to 5 Google first found Sabrina, and at a $50 price tag on Home Depot's website. And Droid Life also found a listing on Walmart for $60. So it's not going to be like $100 for it. 40, $50, $60. That's a pretty good investment if you're going to be using Android TV and such. And especially if you play Stadia. Like I play Stadia on my Chromebook. Now, you should be able to pair a Bluetooth controller to this thing and be able to play on your TV, like in your living room. So this is actually pretty good. It's pretty cool. Will I invest in this? More than likely. More than likely, I will. Let's see. I'm just trying to see if they have like any like absolute interesting facts about the Chromecast for Sabrina, aka Chromecast with Google. So featured a new Android TV operating system and will highlight individual movie and TV show titles rather than apps. Okay, source to the protocol. The new interface will resemble the Fire. Oh gosh. Okie dokie dokie. Interesting enough as it is. So, I mean, what are some of the benefits out of this thing? Like what could I expect with, the the I love my daughter. She's like answering questions. I don't know if you guys can hear her. She's I think they're doing math right now. But I will say this though. Now this is actually going to be a cool thing. And you know what? Like we're already in fall, so shout outs to everybody who loves the fall season. I love the fall season, so definitely. Google's getting sloppy with their products. Woo. Interesting. Elaborate more on that. And shouts out to you for coming in, man. I really appreciate it. I haven't seen you in a few days, man. And I'm sorry that the last couple of podcasts I've been releasing have just I don't know. I've been falling by the wayside too. I've been actually getting sloppy with my shows and haven't really been talking too much about tech, but I'm actually diving back into it this week as we do the countdown 8 days till. So let's see. Yeah, fall is nice. It really is nice. I'm loving fall. I appreciate you for coming in, Red Rum. Thanks for coming in. Um, yeah, I've been on for like 20 minutes already so far. I was wondering if anyone was going to come in, but I'm still going to do this no matter what. So, but anyways, yeah, fall is nice. I'm really interested into knowing why you feel Google is sloppy. Excuse me one second. Did I talk about the Pixel 5? No, I did not. I've actually covered the Nest Home speaker, and right now we're talking about the Chromecast 4. But just give me one second. Now my daughter's got an hour break before her next class. This virtual learning is just so crazy. It's so, oh my gosh, it's headaches. Um, but yeah, we're in fall. The seasons are the season festivities are about to kick. Depending on what area you're in, you may have a good one. You may have not so good one this year. Just depends. I know I really believe that they're canceling Halloween here this year, but you know, Christmas is around the corner, and I feel like that the Chromecast 4 would make a great stocking stuffer for, someone, in the family or, maybe a gift, to mom and dad or something like that. You know what I mean? Being that a lot of things is, like a lot of our entertainment comes from the internet now. Like there's people are shifting away from using satellite TV, cable TV to just going with on-demand video play when it comes to this and going to utilizing you know, online streaming services such as Netflix, Hulu, Tubi TV, which I'll get into towards the end of this. Some sources you guys can actually watch some stuff on. It's like when I was on another podcast show, they were talking about T-Mobile possibly maybe ending partnership with Netflix. Who would they go with? And I suggested Tubi TV, and people were like, "What is Tubi TV?" So I'll talk about that towards the end. But I mean, this people are just moving towards that. So having a Chromecast 4 is something that I feel like would make a great gift for the holidays. So simple as that. Hey, what's up, Sneed? How's it going, man? Thanks for coming in, bro. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to dive back into what I love to talk about. I mean, I've been sloppy this last week with just being all over the place. So, um, yeah, please don't tell me. Like, I had started my podcast. I totally forgot that he was premiering his at 11 a.m. my time. And so he came in here and he was like missing his premiere, and I feel so bad for doing that. However, I am going to watch the replay, and I know it has to do with his Doctor Who intro, so I'm kind of excited. So nobody ruin it for me, please. Um, but yeah, other than that, I think one of the main things here is for me that draws out when it comes to the Chromecast 4 is that it has Stadia compatibility. And like I've been playing games on Stadia. I've been doing a couple of live streams with some gameplay, just kind of showing people like how, what types of games they have. Like I just beat the game Guilt on Stadia. So there's like the final chapter with the two endings, and I'm going to be doing another gameplay where I finish up for the third ending and unlocking that, so we can see the third ending on that game. But there's other games too on there, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Battle for the Grid, Steam World Dig. There's just various different ones that I'm going to play, showcase, and show you guys what kind of games they have. Besides the well-known games like Call of Duty, PUBG, Mortal Kombat 11, those are on Stadia as well. Sadly, no Street Fighter, and I'm still kind of disappointed that there's not going to be Streets of Rage 4. Like, I've been a huge fan of Streets of Rage when I was a kid. I had all the titles on Sega. Every now and then I download an emulator on the Chromebook so I can play it. And of course, it's not in the best quality because this Chromebook's not that powerful to do it. But I will say that I wish Streets of Rage 4 would come to Google Stadia. Yeah. And I haven't demoed multi online player gaming on it, but that's something that you can do with Stadia. So, you have your friends list on the side column where you can see what friends are live on Stadia, and you can actually game together. So I mean, this is kind of like, why I have an interest in 5G, is to kind of see where gaming goes, because while I'm not like today's modern gamer, I do like playing video games, and that is one of my things. And so, yeah, Stadia is something that's pretty cool. And eventually I will try other platforms too as well. Because my second youngest son, he's into video games, and so obviously he's going to want to try out different other like cloud-based gaming services, and so eventually we'll get to that point. So that's my interest in the Chromecast 4. But again, it's not all about gaming with that device. Again, online media streaming, that's really where it's aimed towards. So great stocking stuffer. I keep throwing that out there because it could definitely be a great stocking stuffer. It's as simple as that. So anyhow, let's get into the main thing here. And that's we will talk a little bit about the Pixel 5 here before I open it up, just to have open dialogue. And we are 8 days away from having the Google Pixel 5, Pixel 4a 5G pretty much launch. So there you have it. Google's website. That's pretty much all we have on Google's website regarding the Pixel 5. We know we know the specifications of the Pixel 5 already. It's been leaked, and that's the sad thing, because there's nothing to really be excited about when they unveil it, other than the fact that if there's any type of changes that they've made last minute, we're going to find out next week, Wednesday. That's like the only thing that I'm looking forward to, is to see if all these specifications are just thrown in front of us so we can talk about the Pixel 5 and hype it up, and it is absolutely not what we think it is. That's going to be kind of interesting to see where this is going to pan out. I mean, 765G, yeah, we pretty much know that. I think it was what, like, well, I mean, we're going to go over that here in a little bit, but yeah, it's a love-hate phone. I gotta say that about Pixels. It's a love-hate phone. Some people love them, some people hate them. There's a few in-betweeners. It's just all over the place. Google is just this is really Google's phone. Like, if you look at this is really Google's phone. It has so much mixed emotions, so much mixed reviews. I mean, it's just what can be said? What can be said about the Pixel 5 or the 4a 5G? Sorry. Had to there. I was feeling parched. But what can we really say about the Pixel 5? I mean, I think one of the big, from one perspective, and one of the main things that people are looking at this device for, is the fact that it is 5G capable. So this is going to be Google's first 5G capable phones. And it was a smart reason for them to do it this way. A lot of people always ask that question: why didn't they release the Pixel 4a 5G with the Pixel 4a? One, obviously, is because they wanted to have, obviously, a launch discussing 5G with their new device, but not just with one device, but with two devices. Two is always better than one. So when you go to an event and they're going to be talking about this, you want to have options. And yes, while there'll be multiple variations of the Pixel 5 and multiple variations of the Pixel 4a 5G, in reality, there's really only two devices being released, just variations of said devices. So 5G will, one of the biggest questions that people asks, will it have millimeter wave? And it may, if it does, it's going to be the Verizon variant that is going to have access to millimeter wave. The rest of it is not. So, like, if you're using it on T-Mobile, yeah, T-Mobile's hasn't been doing so great lately. So, I can't say you're going to have the best experience on T-Mobile when it comes to the Pixel 5 or the Pixel 4a 5G. AT&T, you may get a better experience, but I think honestly, like, the best experience is going to come from Verizon. I mean, it just really is. Even if you went with the Google variation, you're still utilizing T-Mobile's network. So 5G, you know, like I said, you're not gonna have the best experience. However, it is nice though that at least this year, along with other OEMs that has released 5G, Google decided to do the same with two devices. And so the Pixel 4a 5G, like I said, is that middle bridge between the 4a and the Pixel 5, right? So the Pixel 4a, which is a solid device, is very good. Is it future proof? No. So you're not going to get massive longevity if you're trying to stay within the times. Now, if you're somebody that is, an average consumer that is okay on LTE at this point right now and can hold off buying a 5G device until maybe next year, then the 4A is going to be okay. It'll carry you through. Not a problem at all whatsoever. But you know, for those who really want to jump on and just really just kind of use 5G at this time, you have your options right now. So the Pixel 4a 5G being the middle bridge, so it is of the 4A branding. However, it does have some of what you would get out of the Pixel 5, and a bigger form factor. Pretty much could be like the XL for the Pixel 5 and the XL for the Pixel 4a 5G. It's really, that's what it is. Um, Here we go. Let's see. I hope this isn't off topic, but I was considering getting a Pixelbook Go this year. Is that a good device to play Stadia on? A good device overall? So I would say that it would be a good device to play Stadia on, because I have a much older Chromebook. I use was it an Acer 15? It's a 15-inch model. I think this one came out in like 2016. I want to say just about. And this rig that I'm using, this Chromebook, actually runs Stadia just fine. Stadia really relies on your internet connection, and so that's going to be one of the biggest key things. Now, the Pixelbook Go has much updated specifications, including display resolution. So you'll probably see the game a little bit more better than I can with the displays that I have on my Chromebook. But Stadia really, a lot of its performance issues is going to rely on the Wi-Fi that you have at home. So if you don't have very good Wi-Fi signal, then it's not going to do you any good. Just for the simple fact that it's cloud gaming. So that's what that's the, for some people, that is the downside to Google Stadia and why people don't try it, is because it's cloud gaming. You buy you buy access into it on a monthly rate of $10, and then the premium games you buy, and you buy their DLC packs that they have available for them. Some games are given to you for free because you are a Stadia Pro member. Being a Pro member is one of the perks. Every month they release like 2 or 3 games for free for Pro Stadia members to own. So you claim the game, you own it, and it's in your library. Even after when it's no longer free, because you claimed it during that moment, you still own the game on your profile. Now, if you switch to another profile, if you create another Google account, you switch to another profile, then yeah, definitely, you won't have access to that game unless it ever goes back on the Pro members free to you for that month thing that they do. So yeah. Yeah, I would say, Pixelbook Go, if you got it, if or you're about to get it, and you do, that's what you want to get, and yeah, it'll do just fine. Just make sure your internet connection is good. So for me, like, my home internet connection is Cox Internet, and even though I'm supposed to get like gigabit, like supposed to have Gigablast, I'm actually just initially doing speed tests. I'm initially getting like around 300 megabits per second down, and about 150 to almost 200 megabits per second on the uplink, and that actually allows me to game and actually be able to use like StreamYard to do like a online game cast where I play a game from Stadia live on my channel. So that's my answer to that. Sorry, I kind of went all over the place with that. So anyways, let me take a look at this here. I'll just pop this like full screen for you. And there's some interesting facts here, and I'm kind of glad that Google kind of like put this out there for people to understand. So it says requires a 5G data plan sold separately, obviously. But I mean, yes, there's people that would probably think that 5G is already built into the phone without phone service. I mean, there are people out there who would think that way. So let's not laugh at them because they can't help them. They can't help it. They don't know any better. So Google has to put things like this in their little disclaimers at the bottom. So requires a 5G data plan, no sold separately. 5G service not available on all carriers' networks in all areas. Contact carrier for details about current 5G network performance, compatibility, and availability. Phone connects to 5G networks, but 5G service speeds and performance depends on many factors, including but not limited to carrier network compatibility, device configuration and compatibilities, network traffic, location, signal strength, signal obstruction, actual results may vary. Some features not available in all areas. Data rates may apply. These devices have not been authorized as required by the rules of the the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission. These devices are not and may not be offered for sale or lease or sold or leased until authorized is obtained. Pixel 5 and 4a 5G will only be available in the following countries: the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Ireland, France, Germany, Japan, Taiwan, and Australia. Oh, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting little disclaimer at the bottom of Google's website for the whole 5G. So let's just kind of take a look at this one right here. And yeah, this one is from, I forgot which site is this. Oh, 95 Google. Yeah. Okay. So talk a little bit about this because this is the most recent news here. So we got it full screen. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Google Pixel 5 leaks in official renders with a 107-degree FOV wide angle camera, 4K, 60 frames per second video, and more. So here you see right now, and of course they put the watermark right there. But the wallpaper that's chosen for the Pixel 5 is like, like a kid's block toy, like a round peg to go in the peg, half circle here. And you see the number 5 in this red peg or this red circle. Anyways, so just a little brief little thing from here from 9 to 5 Google, but basically talk about many device specifications have previously already leaked, but Win Future today provides additional confirmation and fills out the other details. For example, the 6-inch 90 hertz refresh display has a 432 pixels per inch with a 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio. Oh. And it's protected by Gorilla Glass 6. So that's actually nice to know, which is one generation upgrade from the Pixel 4. Yeah, because the Pixel 4 has Gorilla Glass 5. These renders also leak shows how the Pixel 5 has pretty much narrow bottom bezels. According to the report, the housing, unclear what specific component is referenced, of the phone is made of 100% recycled aluminum. And there is IP68 water and dust resistance. Yes, we got that. There is a 4080 milliamp hour battery that supports wireless charging with a reverse power capability for accessories, so you can charge your Pixel back of this thing. Okay, let's see what else is there that they have updated on. Meanwhile, the second 16 megapixel wide angle camera has a 107-degree FOV with an aperture rating of f2.2. So that's actually quite nice. There's the same 12.2 megapixel. Oh yeah, obviously the Sony IMX363 I've been complaining about is still there, but now supports 4K 60 frames per second, and then 1080p at 240 frames per second video recording. So obviously that's in slow motion. The front-facing camera is still 8 megapixels, but the FOV has been reduced from 90 to 83 degrees. Interesting, interesting. And obviously, it still talks about the same things we already know about: Snapdragon 765G with 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of internal storage. Let's see. Only cities with sub-6 5G radios. Okay. Uh, this makes sense given the European nature of this leak, with the model that supports millimeter wave presumably coming stateside. So there is a model that is going to be millimeter wave. Maybe that might be like the green version they said that's going to come out later. Because like when these two devices launch, we're getting the just black versions of them. And I believe the Pixel 4a 5G has a white variant that will come out a little bit later, and the Pixel 5 will have like a greenish color that's going to come out later. I'm thinking maybe like December. And that might be the one that is millimeter wave supported. So who knows? We have to wait and see. They go on to say, thanks to these renders leaked, we see the Pixel 5's advertising focused wallpaper, blocks and shapes, and used to form a 5G. While there is a numeral 5, yeah, so that's one thing that, yeah. Oh yeah, now you see the whole wallpaper. Now you see it 5 and then G. Gotcha, Google. You dirty little devils. But yeah, we pretty much knew all this stuff already as regarding the type of processing chip that it's going to have. Obviously, it's not going to have the X60 modem. More than likely, the X52 is probably what's going to have, or the X55. But I mean, most people are already frowning upon that. But still, 5G capability, sub-6 5G. I mean, you can get better speeds with that if you're not on Magenta. I'll say that much. If you're not on Magenta, you can get pretty decent speeds. Oscar, hello, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming in here. I really appreciate you for coming in. Red rum with the hand gesture. I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about this. So like I said, every time there's more news that comes out with the Pixel 5, it always seems to me that it's just there to throw us for a loop, like to just throw us all over the place. Like, here's something else to confuse the heck out of you, so you're confused again. And yeah, I will say this: this is Google's phone. Absolutely, this is Google's phone. And you know what? I'm just like, oh, okay, Mayank, you still haven't explained why you feel like Google is getting sloppy with their products. I really would love for you to elaborate on that. Really would. But yeah, I'm just like, so the just black variants would be the ones that are the sub-6. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking that the mint green one could possibly be the millimeter wave. And why not? Because then it would definitely identify which device has millimeter wave access and which one doesn't. Because millimeter wave is the way to go, and I'll give a big shout out to Kimon, because Kimon fully supports millimeter wave technology from Verizon. He used to be a T-Mobile shill, and now he backs Verizon totally, and that's for a whole different topic. And one day I will have Kimon on here, and I definitely would say to subscribe to his channel. Was it KTJ Tech? Definitely subscribe to his channel. He's gonna be making some more videos in the future. He's stepping into it, but I would say definitely check him out. And also, if you scroll up to the very top of the comments, you will see this guy, Technoid. If you guys have a moment after this podcast is over here in a little bit, please go check out Technoid and subscribe to him, and check out today's video of his. But do not come back and ruin it for me, because I have not seen his intro, and I know it has to do with Doctor Who, but I have not seen his intro. So please don't ruin it for me. Let's see here. Is the Pixel 4 better than the Pixel 5? I could give you this answer if I had the Pixel 5 in hand, because I don't judge phones based on what's on paper. And that's something that I would advise to anybody out there. Do not judge a phone because of what you see, like, in articles that's written about it, specifications that's typed out on paper. The reason why I say that is because, yes, Google is going with the Snapdragon 765G, which is a 700 series chip, rather than the 800 series chip, because they're trying to keep the price on this phone down. This will be in the last 2 years that Google has been pricing their flagship device at $800. This one will actually be $100 lesser if the pricing of $699 is correct. Now, if they decided to surprise us and make this phone $649 or even $599, which is basically $600, I would do a backflip. At my old age and my heavy weight, I'll do a backflip or die trying, because that would be absolutely amazing. Because we do know that the Pixel 4a 5G is going to be $499. That's the price tag that it has. So you have the Pixel 4a, which is $349.99. You have the Pixel 4a 5G, which is $499. So I would, definitely hope to see that, the highest pricing for the Pixel 5 be at $649 rather than $699. But no, I can't tell you if the 5 is going to be better than the 4. It's too soon for Pixel 5. What do you mean it's too soon? Next week it comes out. Next week, Wednesday. By the way, if you guys follow me on Twitter, definitely follow me on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitch, because those are the only 2 platforms I am going to do a live reaction to the event next week, Wednesday, September 30th. That is the only time. I'm not doing it here on YouTube. I got in trouble for doing it for the Apple event. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking a risk. Even if Google was to say, hey, yeah, we're not going to do nothing to you, I'm not taking that risk anymore. So live reactions will be on my Twitter or Twitch. And then I will do an after the show coverage. Once the event is over, I will talk about what I felt about the keynote and the things that they talked about. Because obviously, yes, we are getting the Chromecast 4, we are getting the Google Nest Home speaker, and we are getting the Pixel 4a 5G and Pixel 5. Hey. Yep, just doing a quick podcast, my love. So we're getting those things all next week, and so that's why I will do a live coverage. If you guys want my live coverage, follow me on Twitter or Twitch. Simple as that. I'll put it down like that. They just got 4 out not long ago. That's why I asked. The 4. You mean the Pixel 4a or the Pixel? Because the Pixel 4 released last year, October. So it's almost a year old. My Pixel 4 definitely would be considered almost 1 year old. Should I sing happy birthday to my Pixel 4? Would that look really ridiculous? Because I don't mind looking ridiculous. If you guys watched yesterday's video where I talked about the update that came to the Pixel Buds, like I acted dumb on that video to make you guys laugh, and hopefully that worked. Oh, Pixel 4a. Yeah, but see, the Pixel 4a is a mid-ranger. And the Pixel 4a released in August because it was delayed. The original release date of the Pixel 4a was supposed to be May of 2020, because that's how they were going to do it. They were going to have like the Pixel, like the Pixel 4 came out October 2019. So the mid-range to that will come out in May of 2020. And then in the fall of 2020, the flagship will come out. So the Pixel 5 and the Pixel 4a 5G, it needs to come out. Plus, you also got to think too, in October, probably October 13th or October 14th, Apple unveils the iPhone 12s. Okay, and while I love Pixels, I don't love Pixels, but I really, really like Pixels. You can call me a Pixel fanboy, a Pixel enthusiast, whatever you want to call me. Just know this: the Pixel 5's Thunder will drop 2 weeks after it's been announced. It will, because we know that Apple is releasing the iPhone 12, and the iPhone 12s will be 5G capable. Will they have millimeter wave access? It's been a back and forth up in the air. Some people say yes, some people say no, but just know I'm going to cover the release of the iPhone 12 as well. And if you want my reaction, you know where to go. Follow me on Twitter, or you guys can follow me on Twitch. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, simple. Um, well, did I actually delete that ticker? Oh, yes, I did. I did, but that's okay. I'll put another one here for you guys. Um, yeah. So, Twitter, I'll probably be your best source, anyways. So this is for Twitter and Periscope. And boom, boom, shakalaka. There you go. That is my Twitter handle right there at the bottom. You guys can definitely go follow me on Twitter and watch the reaction with me. I'll be doing the reaction to the event for both the Pixel 5 and 4a 5G release and the iPhone 12 release. And then of course the after show will be on YouTube. And I'll talk about it there and give my full depth analysis of that. So we gotta wait 8 days, 8 more days until this happens. Am I excited for it? Abso-freaking-lutely, I'm excited for it. Definitely excited for it. Um, I just yeah, I mean, hey, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be excited for it? I would be. I definitely want to go play with the phone. Too bad Best Buys are closed. I mean, like Best Buys are not closed. You can go to Best Buy and you can go and just like, hey, like, hey, let me see it, like whatever. But I mean, they have to go to your vehicle. You can't walk inside Best Buy and play around. Because eventually, when everything opens back up, believe me, since StreamYard is pretty good on mobile, I will do like mobile live streams from like Best Buy and stuff like that, and walk around and show you guys what I have in my local Best Buy in my city, and play around with different technology devices because hardware and software is my forte. Okay, but I will tell you this much right now: if anyone wants to be like, which do you like more, hardware or software? Hands down, software, because without software, all you got is paperweight. So remember that software matters first, then hardware. All right, so we're pretty much open discussion right now. I have an S20, but missed my Pixel 3. So going from an S20 would be too much of a step down. And I take it. Yeah, I mean, if you're needing such a powerful device such as the Galaxy S20, and I mean, absolutely needing it, because there's a difference between like people want to get a powerful device just because they want to be able to say, I have a powerful flagship device. That do they actually use at least 85% of its capabilities? No, they probably use maybe like 10% of its capabilities. And then there's people that absolutely utilize their flagship. So if you're heavy dependent on your Galaxy S20, then yeah, definitely going to a Pixel 5 would be going a step down. Considering that the Galaxy S20 is 5G capable, I believe. Let me know if I'm wrong about your handset. But if it is 5G capable, then going to a Pixel 5, I mean, Google optimizes its software fairly well, fairly well. So for those people who are crying about that, there's only 8 GB of RAM, it should have 12. Well, I mean, then you go put 12 in it, and then you can pay $800-900, $1,000 for it or whatever, just because they had to beef up certain components. And remember, Google's trying to keep at a certain price range, and this is where their downfall is. Their downfall is that they're too focused on trying to keep at a certain price range, and then they make sacrifices in a device that does not need to be, or they could have cut the fat off the steak in another area rather than in an area where you want that fat to be there, so it renders the steak juicy and flavorful. You know what I mean? That's the analogy I'll throw out there. Another thing that I'm actually excited about when it comes to the Pixel 5 is the fact that it's going to have a bigger battery, the biggest battery ever put into a Pixel. Whether it's a 4,000 milliamp or 4,080 milliamp, that's huge compared to the Pixel 1, the Pixel 1 XL, the Pixel 2, the Pixel 2 XL, the Pixel 3, the Pixel 3 XL, the Pixel 3a, the Pixel 3a XL, the Pixel 4, the Pixel 4 XL, and the Pixel 4a. That is huge. And I believe that the Pixel 4a 5G is going to have like a 3,800 milliamp to a 4,000 milliamp, so not too far behind. But the biggest battery ever put into a Pixel. That to me is a huge thing. And it absolutely needs to have a bigger battery. You're talking about connecting to 5G. And if anyone doesn't know, but for your phone to maintain a constant connection to the network that it's on, it will use more battery juice to keep that signal as tight as possible. Unless you turn off mobile data. Like, you don't believe me? Put it to the test and do this test. This is a test that I've done. Okay. get a phone, power up to 100%, have it connected to a network, no Wi-Fi, just network. Keep Wi-Fi turned off, and then leave it on standby and see how many days it can go on that battery. And then once it's reached down to where it shuts off and it's pretty much done, and you've calculated that it may take like 7 days for it to kill off. Recharge the phone to 100%, rerun the test, but this time take a SIM card out, no Wi-Fi access, and then leave it on standby. And I guarantee you that you'll get close to double the amount of time on standby because the antennas draw power from the battery. So when you're in an area that has spotty coverage, this is also why you have crappy battery life, because your phone is starting to sap more juice out of the battery because it thinks it needs more power for the antenna to maintain that connection to the cell site. And it's just an area that has poor coverage, so it absolutely sucks. Nah, bro, you cool. You all right. I judge people for Pixel Boy. It's okay if you are. Yeah, well, it is okay if I am. It's my decision. It's anyone else's decision if they want to be, Samsung boy. They want to be an iPhone boy. They want to be whatever they want to be. Like what you like. There are good phones out there for a reason. This is the only time that fragmentation benefits consumers, is that there's options for you guys, and you guys can like what you like. How many gigabytes of storage Google Pixel 5 has? 128 gigabytes of storage on both the 485G and the 5. And I think that's the only variation. So I don't think there's like a 256 or a 512 or a 1 terabyte. Like, it's just 128 gigs. You know what I mean? So to some out there who like to take a lot of D pics of themselves or a lot of V pics of herself and have like all these high quality stuff and fill up their internal storage to where they can pretty much say that 128 gigabytes is not enough for them. Yeah, then this probably wouldn't be something that you would want to get your eyes on. Definitely. Because no, the storage is just not there. Yeah, so anyways, do you guys have any other questions about like any of these three? The Nest Home Mini, not the Nest Home Mini, but the Nest Home, the Chromecast 4, any of those. I'm taking questions right now, open discussions. It doesn't even have to be about Pixels either. You can ask an outside question regarding tech or whatever. I'd like to get back into that where we discuss more about phones, because I know I was on the Trails live stream yesterday, and I really wanted to get through on getting to the OnePlus Nord to kind of talk about that, because the OnePlus Nord N10 5G is coming to the US, so it's a watered down version of the OnePlus Nord, and it's kind of sad. But I mean, you can still get a OnePlus Nord and import it here into the US, and I guess it works with carriers here because I see some people rocking it and using it, but they could possibly be using it on Wi-Fi. But anyways, they say that it's a contender to the Pixel 4a, and by right it could be. There is another phone out there that's quietly circulating. People are trying to make noise about it, and that's the Poco F3 NFC. I think it's called. Someone let me know if I got that wrong. Matter of fact, let's just kind of drop this and let's just Google search it. Let's see. So I'll drop that, and that. And we'll look at the Poco phone F3 NFC. It's funny how it has an NFC in its name. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Let's go over it. Full specifications, and just kind of go with that here. Okay. Let's get the Poco phone up. Alrighty. All right, you guys see that there? Now I'm gonna full screen it for you guys, so you guys can follow along. Alrighty. Boom shakalaka. Here we go. Okay. All right. The Xiaomi Poco. Oh, X3. I was wrong. The X3 NFC. Oops. Wow, man. My mic is just all over the place. I am so sorry about that, guys. Hang on. I just hit my mic. That's kind of crazy. Stay. Okay, good. All right, we're good. We're good. Microphone checker. Stay. All right. So, released September 7th, 2020. Well, it was announced on that day. It was available on the 8th. See, dimension size 165.3 by 76.8 by 9.4 millimeters. So that's a 6.51 by 3.02 by 0.37 inches. It weighs about 215 grams. That's 7.58 ounces. It's got Gorilla Glass 5, aluminum frame, plastic back, a hybrid dual SIM, so nano SIM with a dual standby. IP53 splash proof, so it's not fully water resistant. It can get some. You can talk on the phone and with the rain blowing on you a little bit. You just don't want to submerge it in water. For the display, it's an IPS LCD capacitive touchscreen. Wow, 6.67 inches, 1080 by 2400 pixels at a 20 by 9 aspect ratio, 395 pixel per inch density. As far as HDR10, 120 hertz refresh rate. That's actually nice. Android 10 with MIUI 12. How many of you guys remember MIUI? And if you guys want me to talk about that, because MIUI is Xiaomi's obviously their user interface. And I remember there were so many ROMs based on MIUI that you could port over to the Samsung Galaxy devices, and a lot of people hated them because they were hybrids. So they utilized the best parts of TouchWiz and Android, and then they kind of meshed that with the iPhone by having all the icons on the home display and no app drawer. I remember that. Everyone called it an abomination. Maybe we should talk about it sometime. The chipset is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 732G. So the 700 series processing chips, octa-core. Let's see, 2 by 2.3 gigahertz Cryo 470 gold, and a 6 by 1.8 gigahertz Cryo 470 silver. So those are the core. The Adreno 618 for the GPU itself. It does have micro SD card support. It comes with 64 gigs of internal storage with 6 gigabytes of RAM, or you can get the 128 gigabyte version, also with 6 gigabytes of RAM, but it's UFS 2.1 storage. So main camera, 64 megapixel, f1.9 aperture rating. That's wide. It's a wide angle. You got 13 megapixel at a f2.2 aperture rating, ultra wide. Then you have a 2 megapixel at a aperture rating of 2.4 with the macro lens, and then you have a 2 megapixel f2.4 aperture rating for the depth. So yeah, 4 cameras on the back of it. Dual LED flash, HDR, and panorama. Video records at 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 30 frame and 120 frames per second. And then you got 720p at 960 frames per second. Kind of nice. Single feature in videos, 20 megapixel, f2.1 aperture rating, HDR panorama. So that's a selfie camera. Is a 20 megapixel selfie cam. But don't always base things on the megapixels of the camera sensor. You gotta know what camera sensor it is. So sound says loudspeaker, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack supported there. So yeah, already looking good spec wise for this phone. Let's see, it supports FM radio and recording, USB 2.0, Type C 1.0 reversible connector, USB on the go. Nice. Fingerprint sensor, side mounted, accelerometer, gyroscope, and proximity sensors, as well as for the compass. You got a LiPo 5160 milliamp hour battery, non-removable, fast charging at 33 watts, 62% in 30 minutes, 100% in 65 minutes. There's a cobalt blue color and a shadow gray color. And then it shows like the Antutu benchmarks and all that other good stuff. So kind of interesting. About the Poco X3. But yeah, and you know what? The price tag on this phone I'm hearing is $200. So that's kind of crazy. Let's see. RFK Tech, LG Wing just got approved by FCC yesterday. Looks like a great phone. Yeah, I mean, it's got that flip out screen. Something different To me, when it comes to the tech world, we need something different. Having the same thing all the time. I mean, I know everything's trying to go foldable. There's variations of foldable technology. Dual screens that fold, like with the Surface Duo, 2 8-inch screens that fold, and you got the Galaxy Z Fold 2. You got the Galaxy Z Flip. You got and there's various other ones that people have forgotten that are foldable. Huawei devices that the screen was foldable from the outside. Those things. Uh, this isn't the Pixel 5. Yeah, because we already discussed the Pixel 5 a little bit earlier. What I was looking at is that because the Pixel 5 comes out next week, or it's going to be launched, unveiled next week, we have the Pixel 4a, and I'm hearing a lot of people talk about that the Poco X3 NFC kills the Pixel 4a. Now, talking about the specifications on paper, it sounds like it, but at the end of the day, you have to also think performance. You have to look at the performance and the optimization. I can sell you guys a phone that runs Android 11 that has, let's call it 18 gigabytes of RAM, that has 1 terabyte of storage, that has a 64 megapixel main shooter in the back. Let's just say that let's just go to like 20 megapixel main shooter in the back, 64. No, switch it up. 64 main one, 20 wide. I can give you like an ultra wide. I can give you, for depth and sensor, like all these other things that the Poke phone has, right? I can give you a 20 megapixel selfie cam in the front. I can give you, 6.67-inch display. I can give you a punch hole in display selfie, biometric in display. I can give you all that stuff, right? Sounds good on paper, right? Give you a 5160 milliamp hour battery. Sounds good on paper, right? But then if it's not optimized to play well with the hardware, you're gonna have a very crappy experience with that. That's the point that I make. That's why I say software matters. Software optimization matters. Yeah, that's where it really boils down to. You don't believe me? Go to Chris Perillo. He'll tell you the same thing. Software is where it's at. Software matters. You just got to. You just gotta it's gotta click in your head. Software is really what matters. Hardware is like 20% of it. 80% of it is software. The Poco phones all have app drawers. The rest usually don't from Xiaomi. Yeah, because I remember Xiaomi was basically putting out MIUI as a custom ROM. I remember because like I said, one of my favorite YouTubers, Christopher Chavez, did a video talking about installing MIUI on his HTC Evo with Sprint. And people were calling it abomination. It really did look like like a cop out of iOS. And yeah, it was I guess you can say, like, in a way, the best of both worlds. You had basically all the good points of Android, and you had the look and not really the feel, but just the look of iOS. That's pretty much it. Let's see. That's a really great deal based on those specs. Yeah, it sounds like a great deal. And you know what? China can manufacture these things and put it out. And this is some of the concerns that people have, with these companies that come out of China. Like they pump out really good devices. They do. Now, I'm not saying that Xiaomi is going to be guilty of this, because more eyes are on Huawei. Because the fact is, whether you like Huawei phones or you don't like Huawei phones, Huawei tends to have close ties to the Chinese government, and that's something that you just don't want to take that risk with. Like when people talk about ciphering data, right? Like, I have a couple of people that don't live in the U.S. that come in and they comment on my videos and they interact with me. And they'll tell me like, oh yeah, Google ciphers our data. Yeah, from my home base, because this is where my perspective is going to lie, in the country that I live in, right? Just like their perspective lies within the country that they live in. I'm still not cool with China ciphering any of my data versus, Google ciphering my data home base here in the United States. Like, nothing on the internet is sacred. I firmly believe in that. But I'll also say this too, and that is, I would much rather. No, let me put it in a different analogy. If these companies are devils, you say, better the devil you know. Many Chinese Android phones have bad software optimizations. Yeah, they tend to. So it's like a hit or miss. Like, do you invest? Do you invest $200 in this phone? Do you take that type of risk, and do you take that type of hit? That is the question. That is absolutely the question. Um, but anyways, while I could go on and talk about the Pixel 5, Pixel 4a 5G a bit more, I don't want to have nothing to say about it for the rest of this week. So, yes, we are basically counting down the days until the launch. So today is 8 days away. I will be back tomorrow. We'll talk more about the Pixel 5. I think tomorrow we're going to talk about custom ROMs and things like that. I'm also going to show you guys my Pixel XL. I happened to get a hold of one thanks to my wife. Actually, she's the one that got a hold of it for me. My wife always finds these great, insane deals and gets me all these things. So now literally I'm back to like just having like just about every Pixel device that there is, except for the 4a and the Pixel, well, the 4a 5G, and the Pixel 5. My wife has the Pixel 4a. Those are the ones that I need, and I'll be currently up to date. So if you guys enjoyed today's podcast, thank you so much for taking the time to come in and watch. Those who came into the comments, RFK Tech Q&A, Brad, Art Dog, Oscar, John Dance. We have my wife, my beautiful wife. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Red Rum, Psalmist Scribe with the question. Sneed Mobile Tech was in here for a little bit. YouTube member Mayank was in here as well. Shouts out to him for being a member of the team. Like I said, if you guys want to become a member of the team, right down there, you guys will see the join button. Go ahead and join. You guys can check out the different tiers that there is, look at the perks that they have, and find one that best fits for you if that's what you would like to do to help support the channel. Of course, links in the descriptions for monetary donations. If you guys want to give a one-time monetary donation, would really appreciate that. It actually goes towards the channel itself and more things I'll be able to do on this podcast, as well as, video productions and things like that. So entirely up to you guys. You guys don't have to, because the only thing that, would really like absolutely help me out is if you guys smash that like button, because that really lets me know that you guys enjoy the content that I'm discussing on the podcast. And if you guys would like to find the audio version, it's on your favorite podcast sources. Just look for the Aloha Android podcast. You guys will find it. It's on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, Spotify. It's on all various platforms, and even on Anchor itself, because that is my home base source of making my audio version podcast is on Anchor. So you guys can even follow me there if you guys use Anchor. And also, that's pretty much it. And if you guys have not checked out Technoid's video today, as you guys can see, he has done a premiere an hour ago, and he has a special, an absolute special intro for today's today's video that he has up there. So you definitely want to go check that out. Let's see here. Last comment of the day. I really hope Google brings some surprises people aren't expecting. I'm hoping so too. I'm hoping that this whole thing was just to make us run around in circles thinking we knew everything about it, and then they hit us left field. The only thing I don't want them to surprise us with is an $899 price tag, because I will flip my lid literally if they did that. Again, Google pretty much has it with where they want to go with this. If the specifications and stuff is true, all they got to do is stick the landing. Pricing. Google, don't go higher than $649. I'm saying that right now. Because that's just it's just going to be mind-boggling. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for checking out today's podcast. Really appreciate you guys for coming in. You guys are clutch. Love you guys very much. Happy Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your day. You guys can check out my past video where I talk about the Pixel Buds. Have a laugh on it. There's a little Easter egg video within the video. You guys can find it if you guys watch the whole thing through. I definitely appreciate that. Leave a comment if you guys found the Easter egg. And if you thought it was funny, smash the like button on that one too as well. Thanks for watching. Y'all are clutch. And as always, aloha.